All right. It's beautiful to be in our faces again. It's beautiful to be in our faces again. Today is the 28th of September, Thursday, 2023. Absolute great time to be alive. And it's beautiful to be live stream before you to discuss yet another great topic or to discuss it and have another great conversation. And today I have with me Uzoma Okoli. Uzoma Okoli is here. He's raining here in the city of Port Harcourt, but I believe that it's great and sunny wherever you are. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as the case may be. You guys are saying you can't hear me. Let me check.
Oh, I'm actually struggling to hear what you're saying. I think I have to get my earpiece. Is that okay?
Let me check. Yeah, I
I
can
mean,
hear
is
the
that
earpiece.
okay? Let me get an
So I'm
earpiece.
wondering why you can't hear me clearly.
I can barely hear you. Let me get an earpiece so I can hear you clearly. Right?
I believe that it's great and sunny
Did you
wherever
hear
you
me, sir?
are. I can hear you, but I don't know. I've checked my own phone and I can hear you clearly. I can see that I'm
Okay,
also
let me
loud.
just get an earpiece. Let me get an earpiece.
So
I'll be
I
back
don't know.
shortly.
All right,
Or
no
do I need
problem.
to pause?
All right, guys. So today we are going to be having a great conversation regarding businesses that think that they are too local to be on social media. I mean, if there's something that you're doing, it is beautiful enough to bring on social media. If you've got a business, whether you're selling crayfish, you're selling akara, you're selling ready-made stuff, you're selling painting, whatever it is that you're doing as a business, you can bring it on social media. There's nothing too local to sell on social media. There's nothing. My wife sells pop, akamo, the local akamo that everybody knows, and she sells it on social media. She makes posts consistently on social media. She markets the stuff consistently on social media. And I said on my post this morning, just a few minutes before coming on this live stream, that if I were to be a gate man, I will be a celebrity gate man. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're an accountant, whether you are a street sweeper, whether you are a gate man, whether you are the sweeper in the office, whatever it is that you do as a job, you can utilize the social media truly to expose what you do to the world. So it doesn't matter the business that you're doing, you can utilize social media to put your business out there in the world. All right. So, guys, welcome to this live stream and this conversation. I want you to please go and invite your friends. A lot of individuals. I give you a small specular. Let me tell you a short peculiar story. So I met a girl, and she sells fruits. So fruits. These guys that sell fruits, they cut the fruits and they put them in a transparent plastic can. Transparent plastic. I think I have no. I can't. I don't have an example around me here. But they put it in a small plastic case and then they sell on the street by the wayside. And so I met the lady, and she said she was scared or she was ashamed of putting that stuff, what she sells, on social media because she doesn't want her friends to laugh at her and all that. I'm like, this is something you're selling to give you money, something that helps you to live your life. You're making your livelihood from selling this thing, and you are scared or you are ashamed to put it out there on social media. I helped to break that thing in her head. And then she began to put it out there. And after a while, she reached out to me. Oh, thank you for sharing with me the benefits of putting what I do on social media. She's now getting orders. People are calling her, and she's happy. Even her friends that she thought were going to laugh at her, they didn't laugh at her, and so she's happy now. So whether you're selling akara, there was also one that came to my office, and she had to put out a picture of her scooping akara from the oil, and people loved the fact that she put out that story. She put out the picture. All right. So go and invite your friends. All right. I feel that you are not getting the level of success that you may be yearning to get just because you are not exposing what you're doing on social media. All right. So you have a business that you are doing, but you're not using social media to expose it, to tell the world, to tell your friends, to tell your church folks. All right. So I'm going to have this conversation with Uzoma. She's having a few issues joining from the back end, but I know that she's going to join us. Let me tap her a bit. So we're gonna. So let me know before she comes on. What is it that you do that you are scared or you are ashamed to put out on social media? I can see a lot of people who have joined in. Tell me, why are people? I want to see in the comment section. Right? Let's have some form of engagement. Why are some individuals ashamed to put out their stuff on social media? Why? Why are people ashamed of putting out their stuff on social media? Let me know. All right, put it out in the comment section. Let us have this conversation before summer comes on. Why are people ashamed? Why do you think that there's nothing that you can put out there on social media? Why do you, are there things that you think, are there businesses that you think that are too mundane, they are too ordinary to put out on social media? All right. So I can see Pundit. Pundit says that he, I don't know if it's a female, but he's selling honey, right? So, Pundit, are you ashamed of? Okay, so I can see Choma. Choma is saying that they are afraid of neglect or rejection. So I'm wondering, why are you afraid of neglect or rejection? That thing that you're selling, someone needs it, isn't it? Someone needs it. Someone needs to buy it. Someone needs it. I mean, I don't know. As long as it's something that humanity needs or something that someone else needs, why are you finding it so difficult to put down on social media because you're ashamed? So let me see more of your takes. Why are people ashamed? Why are people not utilizing social media to put out their works on social media? Okay, so Sunday is saying that some people are still struggling with inferiority complex. Okay, I think this is a worthy response. Some individuals are right. I don't know why Uzoma is having some few of issues to join. So some individuals are struggling with inferiority complex, and this is actually very true. Some people think that what they are offering is not as good. You know, when we were growing up back in the days, there were certain professions that were taken as, I think she's back. There were certain professions that were taken to be superior professions. Those in the medical field, those who are, those in the medical field, those who are, you know. So our parents wanted us to become engineers and medical doctors and all sorts. But if you wanted to be a singer, if you wanted to be a comedian, it was looked down upon. All right. So I see some other people saying, okay, people are ashamed of putting out their little business on social media because they feel it's not up to the status quo, or because people may view it negatively. Also, they may see it as a waste. Mr. Okay, they wrote this one. Faith Victor saying, afraid of being termed a disturbance. Oh, wow. So you're putting your business out there on social media. People will actually think that you're disturbing them on your own timeline. Amazing. At times, people feel the price they put out may sound outrageous, but you buy something of 10 naira. I don't know if do we still buy. I think it's Unzu. It's only Unzu that I think that we are buying at 10 naira now. I don't know, Unzu Abi. But people buy things from 50 naira and above. Even sweet now, I think sweet is 10 naira. So why do you think the price is outrageous? Right? Some people don't know the right approach. Fantastic. I think this is a great reason. Some people think that social media related jobs are a scam. Absolutely correct. This is very correct. Some people still think that social media jobs are actually all right. So here's Uzoma with me. So I'm going to hand over to Uzoma right now. She's going to be sharing. No business is too local for social media. Uzoma, you're welcome. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I think you should remove your earpiece. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. unplug your earpiece,
How
maybe from
about
your
now?
phone. Is more. Yes, I can hear you right now.
Okay, so I should just go ahead and share what I have to share.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do this because I can only hear you clearly using the earpiece. But since you can hear me, I'll just go ahead, and when I need to hear from you, then I'll put on the earpiece, right? Okay. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening, wherever you're watching me from. Um, you're listening to the voice of Uzoma Okoli, and what I do basically is to help people use social media profitably by bringing their businesses, their message, their anything they do on social media using valuable content. And over a few years, I've been able to help a lot of individuals bring their businesses, their skills, their talents, and everything on social media. Now, I'm going to be discussing. I'm just going to be sharing, perspectives relating to um, the this bias or stereotype that people have over some certain businesses or jobs, and that's where I picked the topic from. No business is too local for social media, and I'm just going to start by highlighting some things about why people feel that there are some businesses that shouldn't make it to the online space. Please, can you still hear me? Okay. Sorry, I think I went off a second ago. So,
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
can hear
people
you.
believe that only the posh kind of business, in quotes, posh as in the polished product, the so-called classy kind of businesses, jobs, services, and the rest of them. Jobs and services like coaching, content writing, digital marketing, and all these, contemporary businesses that the world or the society recognizes. But that is actually not true. That's not true. Anything at all can be sold on social media. Anything legitimate can be sold on social media, so long as that thing is not against the law. In fact, people sell things that are now against the law on social media. So how much more something that you do that adds value to people's lives? There is nothing that you cannot sell. There is no business you cannot do on social media. Now we're going to look at a few reasons why people feel discouraged or feel embarrassed selling or doing businesses or rendering services that are not gaining the deserved attention on social media. But before I go into that, I would like you to type in the comments, I am a graduate and I can do trenches job. Please, if you can type that now, and then you can also say it in another way. I am not cursed for doing trenches job. I'm sure you're familiar with that word, trenches, like the poor man's job. Please, let me see that in the comments so that anyone who comes on board can understand what we're where we're driving at. So I am not cursed for doing trenches job. I'd like to see that in the comments, please. I am not cursed. You are not cursed for doing the trenches job. You are not under village people attack. Like your village people are not chasing you for doing, the trenches job. Let's see that. Let's see that. Let's see that. If I can get two or three, then I'll continue. I want to be sure that you're getting my message. I'm not cursed for doing the trenches job. Are we together? Because I'm not seeing it. Yes, I am not cursed. Now, I am not. My village people are not after me for doing trenches job as a graduate. Please put it down. My village people are not after me for doing the trenches job. Put it down, put it down. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I, making these affirmations? This is because my message is targeted towards those people who are educated, people who are enlightened, people who have seen, they've tasted life, or they've gained some level of exposure, because this is where all these things starts. This is where it starts. Because you feel you've gained some level of exposure, you feel that you are above some certain jobs or businesses, and that's a problem. And we're going to look at those things over here. So the people who are not educated, the illiterates, they don't really have a problem, with the business they do. They own up to it anytime, any day. So we are not really looking at them, because if they have the level of knowledge that it takes to bring their businesses on social media, I know that they would do that. But if before you can actually talk about your business on social media, you should be able to communicate at least in simple English. So those who are, not educated may not be able to have that skill. So it's going to be a problem. But I'm talking to you as someone who is exposed. I'm talking to you as someone who is in trend, or who is in sync with the trends, or the way of the thriving economy. You understand how things work in the age that we are, and you have the ability. You can do it if you want, right? So my message is to you now. Why I am talking, doing this, is because a lot of people who are educated, both whether you're just a fresh graduate, or you've been out of school for a long time, or you're doing a business at hand, or you have a job at the moment as a graduate, because of the situation of the economy, some of the jobs you do are not really, they are below the standard of your academic qualification. Am I right? Did I hit a bullet? If I did, just let me know in the comments. Some of the jobs you do as a graduate is as a result of the situation of the economy, not because that is what you want to do. Am I right? Am I speaking to some people here? Are we together? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Okay, awesome. Now, that's why I started by saying that you are not cursed for doing trenches job. You are not. As a matter of fact, an educated person is supposed to have an edge over the uneducated people in whatever field they find their hands. You're supposed to transfer the knowledge, the skill, the exposure, the thought processes you gained from that was nurtured in school into anything that is less assuming, to become, top notch. That is how things are supposed to be, no matter what the economy is saying. You're supposed to pick nothing and turn it to something, because you have gone to school, because you have been refined. Your thoughts have been refined. The way you think, the way you see things have been, refined. So if that be the case, there shouldn't be anything like, this thing is too local. You can actually pick that thing and turn it into something. Now, moving forward, let's look at why people feel embarrassed doing some jobs or doing some businesses. Talk more of bringing it to social media. Now, I've talked about the fact that, the situation of the country makes it, actually affect people, makes it impossible for you to actually get your hands on the things, or the class in quotes, that meet the standard of the educational of your educational background. Now look at some of these reasons. The first one is obsession. Obsession of academic qualification. This is just me trying to buttress what I just said earlier. You are so much, I don't know if it is emotional attachment or something. You are so attached to your qualification that you cannot think outside the box. So ask yourself this question: if after school there is nothing to do. So is that how you're going to stay? If after school you're unable to get white collar jobs, or if having worked for some time, you feel that the job you're doing is no longer meeting up, like you're not really getting the most out of that job, would you, because you don't want to try your hands on little, some other things that are not really shiny, because you don't want, because you have, you are qualified, because you've gone to school, would you? Would you? I'm sure your answer is no. So people get so much, like they carry this their school thing on their heads that it blocks their creativity, because at the end of the day it's about you thinking outside the box, you know, using the things at your disposal. So let's say a job is not forthcoming, or let's say the one you're currently doing is not really, it's not that kind of, that kind of thing that befits your status. Would you remain like that, or would you rather find a way to improve? Now, if you're thinking like the generation that we currently are, like if you're anything like me, your answer should be the latter. Now, what you should do is to, first of all, think about the fact that we're in the time where everybody is trying to stand out from the other, right? So what do you do to stand out in that? What do you do to stand out within that field that you find yourself? Or what do you do to, let's say, the only jobs available are the very low ones, or the businesses or the skills that you can find your hands on are the ones that are not befitting? What you should be doing, I'm going to really talk about this, towards the end. What you should be really doing is to think of how to be better in the one that you are currently seeing, because as we all know, the economy is not smiling. So nobody's coming there to help you. Nobody's coming to, carry you up and say, okay, let me give you this job. It's okay to find good ones, like the posh, the kind of, job, that dream job in your head. It's okay, it's nice. But my question is, what if they are not forthcoming? Are you going to stay there and wait till they come? Or you're just going to try your hands on other things to actually become an opportunity rather than looking for opportunity? So that question should stick. Now, another reason why people so much hold on to, they feel so embarrassed to come up with some businesses that are not really, that are not that are underrated, is because of societal bias. Societal bias. Now, everybody in Nigeria has a way they look at mechanics. Am I right? When you see a mechanic, what comes to your mind? Let it not be that I'm the one saying it. When you see a mechanic, like a normal mechanic in Nigeria, like the mechanic, what comes to your mind? Like, do you, for once, wish, I wish to be like this guy, I wish to be like this person? Do you ever wish to be that person? And if, with your answers, tell me why you don't wish to be like that person. When you see a mechanic in this day and age, as someone who is exposed, as someone who is enlightened, as someone who has seen life in quotes, it is not the kind of life that you wish for yourself. Am I right? Is that the kind, when you see a normal mechanic of our time, is that the kind of life you wish for yourself? Like, is that the kind of job you pray for in your mind? I'm sure the answer is no. I don't want to be taking much of our time, so that I'll just go ahead. But I just want you to answer these questions. Look within and answer these questions. I'm sure that you won't be able to wish to be the person you are seeing as a mechanic. Why? It is believed that they are the lowest base of the value ladder according to marketing. Like, they are the lowest category of people in the economy. Like, their job not follow at all, right? That's the bias. But that is, as far as I'm concerned, that is nonsense. That is nonsense. Do you know? Do you know? Excuse me. Let me drink water. Excuse me. Okay. Do you know what the space, the vacuum that mechanics are filling in today's world? Just think about that for a second. Do you know what those guys are doing? Just disregard every story. You know, what's this their typical name? Mutiu, Kamo. Just disregard the fact that you call them by 1 p.m. and they come by 6 p.m. Take away that fact first. Just imagine life without them as a car owner. That value is what that is the main thing, not it is the content, not the container. So if you are enlightened, you are exposed, you are, the sophisticated one, and you look at a mechanic and you don't get appealed to by their appearance, that's a trigger that you, in your joblessness or in the situation that you find yourself, that's that's a trigger that I should be able to offer this value in in a more presentable way. That's just the word. So you look at a mechanic that is dirty, in quote, and you just assume that no, this thing is a trenches job. In fact, his village people must be on him for doing, God forbid, all those kind of those things are biases. Look at the value, not the person doing it, right? So this is another reason society, like, people believe that anybody doing mechanic, your own don't finish. That's just it. But those things are nonsense. Now, another thing is religious, sentiment and all that. Religion. Everybody prays for um breakthrough and all that. So when praying for breakthrough, nobody prays to be a mechanic. Everybody pray to be a CEO, pray to be a businessman or woman, but the thing is that no matter, everybody cannot have life cannot be painted with the same canvas. Like, everybody has different departments through which they can soar. I don't know if I'm making sense. Everybody has different, so you can be offering your service as a consultant and sitting in your office with this kind of my back chair, right? And a mechanic can also give himself or herself, because yes, ladies, my ladies are doing great things right now. So I don't want to just stereotype this to just the men, right? You can be that mechanic that is different and sit in your office like it at the end of the day, it is the value that is in this thing, not the way. So you looking at the person that is doing it the dirty way, try to single yourself out and do it the clean way, right? So religion has it that anybody doing this is cursed, like you must be there or you must be up there, your job must be those loud ones for you to be really considered blessed and favored by God. But those things are, like I say, it's just absolute nonsense, right? Now, another thing is lifestyle orientation. Now, are you the swagalicious, uh, or what do we call it now? Swagalicious, what is it? The slay queen. Why am I forgetting this? The slay queen kind of people. Your lifestyle orientation. You are the don't stay me kind of person. You don't like staying, right? These things are a problem to you, but you don't know. Because of your lifestyle orientation, you find it condescending, you find it like a stain on you to do some certain things. To do some certain things, right? I don't know if I am making sense. Am I hitting some note, like, am I pressing some buttons? The slay queens, the swaggers, and them, right? And I'm sure some of you are here, right? So don't let these things get into your head. Now, another thing could be, yeah, a little bit similar to personality. I mean, lifestyle orientation is personality. You are this kind of person that Don't like you like you are over calm or over reserved or over polished. But excuse you, is your pocket also polished? Excuse you, is your bank account also polished like that? So which would you rather prefer to maintain, keep your shit clean, stay broke, stay unknown, stay irrelevant, or get your hands dirty, get your get known, get your brand, your business across the globe, get your bank account, of course, filled up. Which one? And then it's not as if you're not going to take your bait at the end of the day. So which one would you prefer, A or B? A or B? Don, please, am I still audible? I have this feeling that I don't know. If you can hear me, can you please give me a signal, sir? Give me a signal, please. Chinwe Amaka says, I pray to have a polished bank account. Yes, so yes. If you're polished and your account is not polished, your existence in life is not polished. Your apart from the fact that you look good and all that, if your impact is not polished, if people cannot feel that you exist in life through what you do, then I wonder why I don't know what's the essence of the polish is it polishness or polishing? What's the essence? What's the essence? So moving forward, this is another reason why people shy away from businesses that would actually change their lives. Now, another one is peer pressure. Peer pressure. Because you have a clique of friends who do a certain job, you feel automatically you should do this too. No, that's not wise. That's not wise. Sometimes you are pressured out of your own purpose. Sometimes you're pressured out of your own direction. Sometimes you're pressured out of you know good thinking, out of thoughts. Sorry, you're pressured out of thoughts, out of reasoning, because your friends have a job that make them look a certain way. You feel you should also look a certain way. That is not how. Like if everybody looks the same, there is no uniqueness. So see, the beauty of of life is being different, like being your own, like your own version of yourself. That's the beauty of existence. So okay, let's say, in fact, when in a family where there are, I don't know, it's a good thing, but I feel that in a family where everybody are, let's say, lawyers, like there's no uniqueness. So there's no uniqueness, except because of the reasons that there are so different types of fields through which law can be practiced. I think that actually adds to the uniqueness. But let's say everybody is doing property law, or which of the divorce law and I mean, what singles you one person out from the other? So that's how you should look at this thing. So let's say in the world, everybody is doing the same thing, the same business, the same thing, and nobody has a way to come out, special, like look different. I mean, your own impact will be different to be like there'll be there's I mean, it will take time before your voice is heard across, or your voice is heard above others. So think about it this way, that you can actually be different. You don't necessarily have to look the way your friends are. Just be your own self, and be the version of your friends in your own version. That's how I would say it, of your the associations you keep in your own way. That's the simplest way to put it. Right. Now, one more way. Okay, one more thing that I've noticed. Okay, I think the Don mentioned parents or upbringing or parental pressure. I think that's also one of those things. Your family wants you to they sent you to school to study law, for instance, medicine also, and then they expect you to be practicing medicine at the end of the day, right? Now, if you for some reasons decide to say, I'm not doing medicine, my path is not in medicine, I want to do, let me be a bit ridiculous. I want to be selling akara. Hey, how no, you think about it. If you were a parent, just think about that. Like, how does it sound to you? Like, I want to be frying akara, I want to be doing mechanic, I want to be doing what is it called? Washerman or something, think about it as a parent. If you're to be realistic, like you you as a parent to be triggered, like, is this child okay? Like, I sent you to school to do this and you say you want to do this. Now, I'm not saying after going to school to study medicine, you should come back and tell your parents you want to study. Some of these things they come within. I have friends who studied medicine, but they are not doing anything close to medicine. I have friends who studied law, but they are not doing anything close to law. So some of these things are not something that you can explain. There's a certain drive that drives you towards some things that you may not, but that may not necessarily look the path that your parents want you to go. You understand? So some of these things may deter you from going towards the path that you feel that, if I do this, excuse me, sorry, right? So parental pressure is one of those things, right? Your family wants you to be there, they want you to be there. So if per adventure you don't get the job of a lawyer, you don't get the job of a doctor, then nothing for you. Like, you're just going to stay there and do nothing. And the funny thing is that you may have other things that you know how to do, but because your parents, the society, religion thinks, this, in fact, you are cursed. If you do this, it means you are cursed. Then you'd rather not look that way. That's a problem. Like I have always said, it's a problem. Last thing is low self-esteem. Like, this one is like, it happens to even those of us that are doing the polished ones, or those that have actually turned the polished ones into something that is really nice, or those of us who have this drive to do things extraordinary. Low self-esteem is as deadly as HIV. It's as deadly as it's as wicked as HIV. Now, here's why. Here's why. It doesn't allow you see, like, it always, just like when a child, a little baby, right? You have like like my daughter, she's 4 years old, but my goodness, she talks, she behaves like an adult. Sometimes what she says, if you look at it from the African parent way, you would take her to church for deliverance. You would keep like 7 different sets of cane in the house just to send the demons out of her. But because of the understanding that children, they are just children, and some of them are really, really outspoken than the other. Now, and in the days of our mothers, there are some things you would say, they would give you a knock on your head, like, or there are some things you want to express, like a child will want to, be really expressive, and they're like, this child, your own is too much. Come on, don't do that. Now, it's low self-esteem is like that. You want to explore, you want to do things that things that are marvelous, but then something in you is telling you, not be you. What do you know? I beg. But then you have you the worst thing is that you can't you're not even trying. You are not even trying, but you have this conviction that you can. In your closet, in your there are moments that you get to assess yourself, and you tell yourself, I can actually do this thing. Like, can you see me sweating? I can actually do this thing. I'm really good at this, but because of this deadly virus of the mind. Now, this is a problem when you see things that, okay, this thing is really, there's a potential in this thing that if I invest my time, creativity, consistency, and everything into it, I'm actually going to make, I'm going to make create or get diamond out of this field. But because you feel that no, I can't even do it. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Like I'm too short. Somebody like me. But thank God we've like I'm no longer sane. Like I've lost it, right? So there was a time that my my physique can actually make me lose a life-changing opportunity. And I feel like they want tall people, they want ladies who look a certain way, they want and all this. And I have not even tried. I've not tried. So these things happen. So this same low self-esteem would make you feel that no, 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 no. I can't really do this. I can't really change the narrative, right? Because all these things they are narratives. Please, can you still hear me? I just got a signal. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just got a signal that my network is. If you can hear me, please, can you drop a comment, please? Drop a comment, drop a comment, drop a comment. Just I can hear you and I'll move on. Awesome. All right. All right. So this low self-esteem can do a lot to you. This is not about low self-esteem today. There are different, categories where this low self-esteem can hit you. But I'm talking about the fact that it can tell you that you see this thing, this mechanic that everybody believes is a poor man's job. You cannot do anything to change it. What got to think of this thing? I mean, when you go to highbrow locations like Lekki, for those of you who stay in Lagos, what are those locations? VGC and the rest of them. Do you not see mechanics? I'm trying not to be phonetic here because it's actually mechanics. That's how they call it. Do you not see mechanics in their jobs in those locations and how they look? And then the company that they represent with their job, do you not see how presentable or how prestigious those companies are? Do you know? I mean, I'm sure you've seen mechanics in the hybrid locations of wherever you live. I mean, has anyone seen such kind of people? Because I'm trying to drive your attention to the fact that while you are sleeping, thinking that mechanic and the rest of them are poor man business or poor man profession, or the job in the industry is a trenches industry. I want to drive your attention to the fact that some people who have seen ahead of you have transformed it already. So I'm just trying to wake you up. Have you seen such? I need to know. Have you come across people like that? Have you? I'm sure you have. So wake up. These things, people are already waking up. So why you're still thinking that those people, their own esteem is high, apart from the fact they have the capacity to establish or change the narrative of businesses with the right funding and structure, people are waking up. People are waking up, right? So that narrative, it is low self-esteem that will tell you that mechanic care. Who wants to listen to you? Everybody is doing. Look at you. Don't see how they look, and you want to now come and do what? These are the things. I think I've overflogged this particular point in this particular section, right? So, but that's just it. It can't be okay. Sunday A or Ludari says, yeah, I've seen lots of them. Of course, they're everywhere. So I wonder what is still giving people the impression that there is anything called one man business anywhere in this day and age. Come on. So moving forward is I'm going to drive your attention to the businesses, the skills, the jobs that people disregard, and the potential in those businesses. I'm going to be very brief about that because I don't want to spend more than 60 minutes here. Now, the first thing, there's so much potential in this uh, particular category of what I'm about to mention. It's simply called legacy business. Legacy business. Legacy business are businesses from parents passed down to the children. Now, my mother inherited the mai making business from my grandmother, and my grandmother, I think the story is not clear to me, but I think she also inherited that business somehow from her own mother. Now, me, a am I think I'm a millennial, right? Like in this our generation, me now that is existing in this generation, that anything can be turned into gold. If I decide to turn that business into something, I mean, I can decide to turn that business into gold. I can decide to do that. So a lot of people have businesses. Okay, moving back a bit, I can actually do that, but I have something doing. I have something doing already. Okay, so before you ask me, why don't you go and do your mother's business or something? No, I have something doing, and then it's profitable. I mean, it has great level of impact on people, and the world gets to know my name through it. So why not? If not, so I have something doing already, right? I can actually decide to employ someone to help me do that, but I wouldn't be able to do that. But you, as someone who has a business that your mother, your great grandmother, your father, or anybody has been doing, do you not see the potential in that business? Do you not see the possibility of you taking over the mantle of leadership from your mother, your father, or your family? I'm not saying go and collect the business. Oh. Use them as like business partners. You live in the city, they live in the village. They can be your partners. You can be doing those things the polished way, while they provide you with the local ones or the supply for you to rebrand, repackage to meet the standards of the contemporary times or the contemporary audience. So there's so much potential in legacy business. I have someone is actually a keynote speaker in my forthcoming event, conference coming up tomorrow, right? Trailblazers conference. One of our keynote speakers he's actually into the business, the legacy business. He took the business from his mother, a 30-year-old business. Guess what business? Akara. I'm sure you all know Akara, but if you know Akara, but you can just drop comments. He turned the business into something that stands shoulder to shoulder with shawarma, pizza, and who would have thought in your whole life would you have ever imagined that Akara? Oh my god, Akara, Mama Nkechi's Akara by the roadside, like, would you have thought? That's how so much, but that's what you know that's how profitable these things can be, right? Now, another thing you can talk about, you can leverage, another business or category of things that you can actually change the narrative is artisanship. A lot of enlightened people, a lot of exposed people, a lot of educated people, semi-educated people. Yes, I'm not excluding semi-educated people here, because not everybody had the formal education that we all call education. Not everybody. Somebody like me, I would call myself semi-educated, but I'm not semi. I am nowhere. I'm far beyond semi-educated. I dropped out of uni, and then my life took another route. But then I've actually built myself beyond the walls of the universe. You know what the standards of university, what is it called now, qualification, right? So people that are not really educated, or people that are not that are not so developed and all that, but they can communicate effectively, or to some appreciable extent. You sure can write, and people can understand. You can spell well, you can write well, you can speak correct, simple, correct English. You're good to go. So some of these people, educated, semi-educated, educated people, have crafts. skills, work, is it workmanship or something? You have something you learned. You are an artisan. You are a carpenter. Sorry, they say it's what do they call it now? What do they furniture, right? You are a carpenter. Let me just be realistic first. You're a carpenter. You're a plumber. You are what else? What are those crafts? Please, can you remind me of some of these crafts that we can regard as artisanship and the rest of them? Right? There's something you got hairdresser, tailor. There are categories though. Tailor is different from they say it's fashion designing now, but they are okay. Someone Chema Favor says, I am a school leaver. I finished last year. I'm currently pursuing my I think I missed that. Okay, ahead of the Akara. My grandmother was a businesswoman. She sold fish. Her third daughter sells fish in Anambra and makes so much. That's it. That's it. That's it. So those businesses, I mean those skills, handiworks, what are those things you can do with your hands? Some of you before you went to school or while you were in school, you were compelled by your parents to go and learn one trade, one skill like that. All those not so polished skills. Now, when you are out of school, because you feel you are the same thing I was saying about obsession, academic qualification, the obsession of that is a problem. You are out of school now, and you feel that carpenter is not for me. As a graduate, I shouldn't be a carpenter. See, if you know the I don't know how to explain this so that you understand. If you know the money you're leaving on the table, right? Apart from that, if you know the what you're doing to yourself, right? In terms of being recognized for what you do, you would, in fact, you would go back, you go back to your manuscript, you go back to your drawing board, you go back, you go and get your carpenter tools, you get your stuff, everything you've done, you go and get them. And let's just say you are already doing those things, you are doing them, and you don't feel proud, you don't feel you don't accord it, you know, the required amount of prestige. They cannot call you in church, they cannot call you somewhere, maybe an event, and you boldly say, I am a carpenter. Hey, sorry, but no sorry. You should see that times have changed. That's just all I can say. Times have changed. Times have changed. Moving forward, there are jobs also. On my wall this morning, I posted about cleaners. See, there is a lot of value in the jobs that people call trenches job. Imagine the world without lawma, especially in Lagos. Imagine an organization without cleaners. Imagine vehicle owners without mechanics. Imagine imagine life without the shoemakers. Think about all these fields. Imagine life without them. And tell me why you should not be proud of what you are doing. Now listen to one thing I'll have to say before I round up everything I'm saying here. No matter how you feel about what you're doing, please look at the amount of value that you are adding to human life with that thing and draw your inspiration, draw the pride, let your shoulder pad, let it be reaching the ceiling. Mm? When you understand that, this thing that I'm doing, without this thing will happen. Let it be your source of pride. I'm not saying pride like behind closed doors. There are some jobs you are doing, you are proud of it behind closed doors, but you cannot be proud of it outside the door. That is why you cannot post it on social media. Now, I want you to look at the value you are offering in that field, and be proud of it indoors, outdoors, on social media, anywhere at all. In fact, when they call you up in church, Think about the value. That is why I say when somebody asks you what you do, don't just say, don't go and tell the person that you sell bottled water. Thank God bless this young man that was recently recognized for selling bottled water. Do you see how he was telling people what they did not even know about bottled water? That's what you should do. So you think about the value you add to something first before you now go ahead to tell them that thing. So you wash or you clean. Think about the value. You provide hygiene. You provide cleanliness. That's what you do. So you can simply say, I provide cleanliness to organizations and homes through professional cleaning services. I'm a cleaner. Who does that? Who does that? When you strike, like when you pinpoint the value that you provide ahead of what you do, people will pay you attention before they will forget that cleaner was once a trenches job. That's how it works. It's perception. All right. So understand the value of what you do. That way, you are pumped up. You are encouraged to talk about the business, to bring it out to the attention of the world, and that brings us to social media. Now, in understanding the value of what you do, here are first things you need to do when you have understood that before coming to social media. First of all, you arrest your mind with self-validation. You validate yourself first. Like tell yourself that this thing I'm doing, it counts. So it makes sense, right? Because you don't even need anybody to tell you that mechanic makes sense, right? You don't need anybody to tell you that cleaning without just imagine. Oh my god! I remember when I was working in an international company in Lekki. Any day that the cleaner does not come, ah, that's the day I know that my own job itself is not even as important. Because first of all, you want to make sure that no quality client, no, in fact, of course, all our clients are quality customers there, but you want to make sure that nobody comes into that office in that state. That's how impactful these people are in their jobs. So then you now go to the toilet, and then oh my god, and then the toilet gets bad, and then we don't see the plumber. Then you know that those people that use their hands to touch dirty things, there is so much value in what they do. So you understand these things, and then you validate yourself and tell yourself, yes, this thing I'm doing makes sense. Without these things, come on now, they can't. Now when you have that validation, you now come up with that confidence, and you the next thing you do is to communicate that value. I'm talking about on social media now. We moved from you knowing the value first and then validating that value, like validating yourself that this thing I'm doing. Make up your mind. It's because everything at the end of the day, everything is in your mind. If your mind tells you that this thing is good, it's good, none. But if it doesn't, it's bad. So validate yourself. Don't wait for anybody to tell you that mechanic is a great job before you know you can. Come up to social media, make your noise. Tell people that without me, your car will knock on Third Mainland Bridge. Yes. And start talking about sharing those things, talking about stuff, teaching people what those things, those problems that your audience, your customers tell you. Use those things as content. I'm not going to talk so much on content because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to content, but I'm just giving you, just like I'm pointing the touch. So bring those things, bring them, transfer those things that happen offline in your business, in your skill, bring it up. Those things help create awareness of what you do, right? Apply common sense, by the way, when sharing, please, right? So you don't goof, right? But then the things that are real, things that make sense, those solutions that you provide and your customers say, wow, those things that happen. Okay, and then those things that your fellow mechanic people do that you will not do. Hmm? We're hearing about tomatoes and arrest. Another tomato brand came out and said, what? We know they arrest and we know they push sugar. In fact, that's what you should be doing. Tell them that Mutu may carry your car to go and carry different girls, but I will not. I will repair your car and keep it safe because I understand boundaries. Oh my God. Ah, I wish you can understand. I wish you can understand. Like, bring that value, communicate the value of your business, and communicate your own, value as a person and your values, what you stand for. I'm going into content now, but not this is not about content. Right now, the next thing you should do when you bring yourself on social media is to creativity. Creativity is one. Creativity is simply you cannot actually be creative offline though, right? You can be creative offline. But creativity in the online space or social media is simply you trying to create stuff out of nothing. It could be in your content though. It could be you can be creative with your content, right? So creativity could be in the way you are able to come up with uh, solutions to solve people's problems. It could be the way you provide other things in relation to what you already do to help people. It's just you thinking out of the box and creating things out of nothing. Now, innovation is doing is like going one step ahead of it. Now, you are a low scale mechanic, right? Why don't you think of offering what is it called now? Is it home delivery now? I don't know what's the word now. Somebody that is a mechanic now. You can innovate, like you can create an app where people can book you, right? And you come to them. So eh, just like moving one step. These things don't come easy, by the way. But I promise you, the more you do, the more you pay attention to what you do, the more you're consistently doing what you're doing and letting the world know the ideas are everywhere. Like, see, you have more, you are more rich in ideas than you are rich in cash. You are more rich. I'll say that again. You are more rich in ideas than you are rich in your bank account. Yes, because before you are able to implement one idea, 1,000 others are already coming. Imagine you now implement all those ones, but it's not possible. You can only do the one you can, right? So as you are doing the one you're doing right now, more ideas are coming. But when these ideas are coming, just pick the ones that you can do and run with it. Pick the ones you can do and run with it. That's how it was. So be creative and innovative. Hmm? Create new things out of nothing. Those things create. Just think of how you can improve, how you can stand out from the crowd, how you can be different from the dirty mechanics, how you can communicate in your value in style. Your message should be well thought out. Stand out. You are educated, for crying out loud. You shouldn't be, you know that's why I mentioned from the beginning that if you look at things, educated people should have an edge over other people who are majoring in the fields that are under recognized, right? Now, I think I'm rounding up, with the social media stuff. Now, in addition to the okay, two things actually. One of the two things is that you should embrace uh the visual representation of your business physically and virtually. Now, physically may not be easy, right? But virtually is 100% easy. Now, I'm talking about the way you appear, the way people see your stuff, the way people see your brand. Now, when you want to talk about your business, let's say you have a page, you've opened your business as a page, while you are also using your social media profile as a person to build your brand, right? What do you make people see about your page? What are the visual representations? Have you anything that people can use to recognize your business? Do you have a logo? Do you have a page? Do you have a website? These things are actually not primary things you should do, by the way. you can do without them. But I'm talking about as you advance, please, as you grow. Ordinary talking about your business without having any visual representation is enough to shoot to change people's minds about what you do. So don't think that you must start out getting all these structures in place. I'm just talking about you. Remember I said innovation. So I said as you grow, also take care of the visual, represent. How do you present yourself? How do you present the products you have? By innovation, you can change how a pap looks to another way without losing its authenticity. Somebody like Joy Novis, I so much love what she's doing. Check out what she's doing. Check out what she's doing with Akamo. Check out her variants. Check out her pap infusions. Those things are creativity and innovation at work. You understand? So when people bring out your Akamo, there's a way Mama Nkechi's Akamo in the village is, and there's a way your own Akamo should look. There should be a distinction. So visual appearance from how the online presence of your what you do down to the physical appearance of that thing that you do. If it is physical, if it is virtual, then fine. You understand? So take a look at the pictures, your how your products appear. There are some products you cannot change the way they look, sha. There are some industries that you cannot change. Their brand identity is dirtiness. There are some industries you cannot change. But then when presenting that brand or when presenting that business, what do people see when they come across the platform where that business is represented? When we come to your page, if you have, what do we see about it? And if you don't have, you as a person, how is your profile picture? How is your bio? Hmm? Those things, those things matter, right? We can be real when we want to be real, but let's not look our, I don't know how to put it. Let's not look our problem. Yes. Let your business represent the future that you want to attain, the heights that you want to attain in the future. And lastly, I think I'm rounding up here now. The last one that I will not forget is having a robust vision. You see, so many people, because of the fact that they are so blind, they're so blind to the fact that this pen, with this pen now, I can, in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, this pen can reach the table of Bill Gates. They don't see that much. We're not saying it's rocket science. We're not saying it's easy, but it is possible. So they don't have a vision. They are not vision driven. Like this thing now, what do I want in the next 3 years? I want this my pop to reach, certain locations. I should be able to do this if I can put in the work. So they just believe that no, it's just for me to eat now, 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 now. Let me make this thing. No, 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 no. When you're starting a business, it's not for you to have money to eat or solve your problems. If you center your problems around your business, it will crash. It will crash. So when you're doing business, you're not doing it because you want to quickly make money to survive. No, you're you're doing it because you're building a legacy. You understand? So have a vision in whatever you're doing. Are you a washerman? Are you a cleaner? Don't you think of being the the top the highest agents that outsources cleaners to companies, just like the one you work in. I mean, just think about the future. Think about you being the one that people will call. Excuse me, hello, am I speaking to so agency, cleaning agency? And you answer, and probably your customer service will answer yes. You are speaking to a Kaite cleaning services, and then you hear we need the service of a cleaner. We have. Don't you ever? I mean, think of it that okay, I want to have that does not make sense. Become, a household name that would be sending cleaners to people's house to work on, to represent me. Do you understand? So be vision driven. Don't just say, this, don't just be looking at that thing for what it is at that moment. No. Let's look at what you can create ahead of time with the little resources available at your disposal. So this is where I will stop for today, and I hope I've been able to. If you've been able to catch a thing or two from everything I've said, please let's get to hear it from the comment section. Okay, thank God.
Okay, so
Joe,
but
you
there's
can hear me. I
something.
was actually
So but there's something you are holding by the weekend on the 30th. Can you tell us about it? There's something you're working on right now. There's something that you're doing. I think you have a conference on the 30th of this month. Uzoma, can you hear me?
just want to get.
Can you hear me? Okay, she's going to be back again. There's something that she's holding. Or okay, so I believe that I don't know if you have questions. I'm going to take only 2 or 3 questions, please. If you've got questions, drop in the comment section right now. And then if you have questions, please drop in the comment section. She'll be back to answer your questions. All right. You're such a weaver bird. Chuma Favor, I don't understand this comment of yours, weaver bird. What does that mean? I want to learn that. All right. Tell me what this means. It's my first time hearing it. All right. So if you've got questions, please drop in the comment section so that all right. If you have questions, please drop in the comment section. All right. So Uzoma, there's something you are hosting on Saturday. Um there's an award ceremony that you are currently hosting for individuals who are Uzoma, can you hear me clearly?
Can hear you.
All
Can you
right.
hear
So
me?
tell yes, I can. Tell us about the event and the award ceremony that you're hosting with regards to
Okay.
what.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So the event is actually tomorrow, not on Saturday. It's tomorrow.
She has gone off again, but she'll be back. All right. Go ahead.
So sorry about that. That was network and the wala. So can I go ahead now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we're having I'm actually having we're having a conference tomorrow. It's not on Saturday. So this conference is a program. It's actually a ceremony to celebrate the winners of our just concluded award initiative. And this award initiative is created to recognize people in the industries that are disregarded. Just like I've highlighted today, all the industries you can think of that don't get the deserved attention because the society feel that they are nothing to write home about. Talk about cleaners, washermen, and all the industries. We're celebrating people who are using social media to build brands around these industries, making it stand on the same level with the brands that we all admire, the ones that are already those appealing ones, right? So there were 20 categories created for this award, and the winners have so far been brought out. So this conference is also open to every other person, apart from the fact that we're recognizing them. We're going to be giving, calling out the winners tomorrow. It's a conference to come and learn from people. We have speakers, keynote speakers, who are, actually doing great in these industries. Now it's called the Trailblazers Conference, and we have people who are trailblazers in them, like in their industries, and they're coming to share their knowledge on how you can also transform these underrepresented niches into a brand that stands out. So we have Joy Nobis coming on board. We have Akara Boy coming, Prince Francis, and we have Lasisi Adejoke Lasisi. So these people are powerful people in the fields that people would not take a second look at, right? So you come and learn, get to learn how these people transformed ordinary akamu, ordinary akara. Lasisi Adejoke makes clothing from dust bin, from refuse dump. Can you imagine that? The pure water, the bottled water, all those things you throw away, she picks them up from the slum, from the gutters, sterilizes them to make clothing, beautiful clothing. So you want to learn how people do these things. And I myself, I'll be sharing other insights. That's why I'll be breaking down content creation. I'll be showing you how to build brands around all these things on social media, right? So you want to be there. It's an event that you don't want to miss. So whatever you're doing, please find the link in the comment section. I'll drop the link now so that you can actually or you can click my name, click the link on my bio, find the link on my bio. I can actually drop the link now because I'm holding my phone for me to get the lights. So you can check my bio, register for the event. It's holding tomorrow by 7 p.m. and I hope to see you there. You're going to learn from experts, like practical teachings on how they did it. Things that you can learn. That you'll be able to see that no business, nothing, nothing, nothing at all cannot, nothing. There's nothing you cannot transform. That's just the simple thing to say about it. So just register, attend. Once you attend, you meet yourself in my WhatsApp, and you will be given access to the venue. It's holding on Facebook Live tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. So if you're listening from outside, if you're watching from outside Nigeria, it's 7 p.m. West African time, and the venue is Facebook Live. So I'll drop a comment now once I'm done with this, and you can just follow the link or click my name. You see it. It's the first thing you see on my bio, and get registered. Thank you. I'm done.
All right. Thank you so much, Uzoma. It's been an amazing session, 1 hour, 20 minutes so far. Thank you for being part of the session, guys. I encourage you to be part of the session tomorrow to learn a whole lot more from the individuals who are going to be speaking and also those who will be receiving awards, and to further boost your confidence and your ability to know that you can do a whole lot more using social media. All right. Thank you so much, Uzoma. God bless you for being on the live stream. I look forward to the amazing thing that you have in stock for tomorrow and all the amazing things that you are doing on social media. All right. Action right now and be part of the movement. I'll see you, as they say, on the other higher side of life. Good afternoon and goodbye, everyone.